Hello everybody, Mr. Mobs here and welcome back to the channel. So today we're playing a bit of Assetto Corsa. Before we get stuck into the game, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who recently subscribed to the channel. We've got a goal of 500 subscribers and we're getting close. We're at 320 now. So massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed. If you're watching the video and you haven't, please hit that subscribe button, really help out the channel. So like I say, we're playing Assetto Corsa. I'll just get started up and we can talk through the mods that I've put on and the rest of it. Hope you enjoy the video. So we'll start off in the car park. Driving the Audi RS3. I'm using a mod pack for the track. Before I start talking about all the mods and stuff, I just want to say that I am brand new to Assetto Corsa. I've had it in my library for quite a while, played it a couple of times when I very first downloaded it, and I struggled a bit with it, so I stopped playing it. But after a lot of you guys were recommending that I tried it again, I thought, you know what, I'll pick it up, give it another go. I'm glad I did. But yeah, I'm new to the game, I'm new to the mod scene, so anything I talk about, I'll do my best to explain it as I understand it. Apologies if I get things wrong, like terminology and things like that. I'll try and link to everything in the description as well. So basically I'm on a UK road. This is a actual real world UK road based in North UK. I'll give you the details again in video description. This is one that I've downloaded from Hyfels, I believe they're called, along with some cars as well, including this car. Now, yeah, you can download that. That's all fairly easy to do. I didn't have too much problem doing that. I also wanted to change the weather effects, so I originally looked at Soul because that seemed to be quite a popular option for Assetto Corsa. I looked at the Soul mod, I got that downloaded and installed, but actually then afterwards did a bit more research. I found out about Pure, and looking at the comparisons between the two, my personal preference is Pure. I think it's a bit more realistic, so that's the one that I'm running on now. But both Soul and Pure were quite difficult for me to install and get running properly. Neither of them run straight away as they should do, but I think that's probably more down to me than down to the mods themselves, so it's just user error. So I think if you're familiar with modding and stuff like that, and you've done it on Assetto Corsa before, you can probably do it very quickly. It was just something that I wasn't familiar with, so it took me a lot more time than it probably should have. Once I had everything installed, I was using the pad at the time, the Xbox Elite pad. Once I had everything up and running and installed, I then plugged in my wheel that I'm using now, which is just a Logitech G920, I think it's called. Which is quite a kind of an entry level wheel, but it does the job and I quite like it, to be honest. Although I've not really had anything else to compare it to apart from like a super cheap wheel, which was rubbish. But anyway, I connected it all up, and then I had to get it all kind of mapped into work in Content Manager. So Content Manager is like a kind of middleware program that you download that manages a lot of the settings and stuff like that for all the mods and all the additional stuff that you can add to the game. So that was another thing, kind of trying to get that up and running and working. So what I'm trying to say basically is I had quite an ordeal just to get to this stage. You guys, like I say, probably could do it a lot quicker, but in my opinion it was worth it. I think it looks wicked now, it's really good fun, especially in VR. I play in the first person view when I'm racing in VR. I've not mapped the button on the steering wheel to change view. There's probably a key on the keyboard to do it, which I don't know what that is. But if you're not playing in VR, then playing in third person is quite cool because the car graphics and the reflections off of the car and everything look wicked. So that's an option. But inside this Audi, they have made it look really realistic as well, which is cool. I like what they've done. Little MMI over there and stuff. Hopefully I won't need to reverse because I won't crash or anything, but if I do, when you stick it in reverse you get like a little reverse camera, which is fun. I thought that was nice, added extra. So the attention to detail is really cool. I really like what they've done overall. So credit to everyone involved. Like I say, I will put all the links to the mods and everything that I've done, I'll put in the description. So I'll even, if anyone does need any help, just drop me a comment. I'm happy to try and answer any questions, although I'm far from being experienced at modding or anything to do with the game, so I can only help you as far as I know, which is going to be quite limited. But if I can help anyone out, I will. Anyone who's used to doing anything PCVR related knows that there's always something, like it's a can of worms when you're doing stuff in VR, in PCVR especially. I love PCVR, I'm a massive fan of it, but it does come with its issues, you know, there's always something going on. Yeah, so definitely worth doing anyway though once you're up and running, because it looks amazing, looks really good. They do have like an online server for this track pack as well. They've done this where you can have like real world like traffic, and you have like UK police cars and stuff like that. I've only had a quick go on that, and that was before I did all the rest of the mods, so perhaps I should go back on that and give it more of a try. I assume it's only online. I don't know if there's like an offline version of that. Like I say, I don't really know enough about the game at the moment to tell you everything. Try to go that way. Go to the Golden Lion for a drink. Might go there afterwards. A pint, a cheeky pint. Don't drink and drive. So yeah, this looks wicked. This bit I love driving through the town. I think that's really fun. It's a nice time of day with a sunset as well. That was one thing that I still haven't quite worked out how to do. When I'm in VR, I can't get to the menu. You should be able to move a mouse pointer on the right hand side and it brings up like a separate menu, and you can adjust the weather and stuff like that in game. So you load up the game and then you can adjust the weather. That I can't. When I move the mouse pointer, there's just no menu there, so I don't know what's going on there. It happens. It's fine when I play on flat screen using the monitor. It's just when I'm in VR. So if anyone does know how to get the pure thing up when you're in VR, let me know what I'm doing wrong, please. Because that would be useful to adjust whilst you're in game, because it adjusts on the fly, so you can, any adjustments you make you see visually straight away, whereas the way I'm having to do it at the moment is adjust it in Content Manager and then load up the game, and if it's not right then I have to quit back out of the game, or quit out of the race should I say, and then to make more adjustments and then go back in until it's right. And as you can imagine, it's a bit of a pain. So hopefully someone who's more experienced than me can tell me what I'm doing wrong, because yeah, it would be nice to be able to use it as it was intended. But that's the only thing now so far that I've come across that I'm kind of stuck on still. Everything else seems to be alright. I did notice when I was racing in the rain that I found that the roads were really reflective, like too reflective. They look like a mirror, and it just kind of spoiled the realistic effect, I thought. So I was advised you can turn down like the wetness effect, but again that's another effect that you access through the menu on the right. So without that I can't really show that in VR. So yeah, it would be wicked to have that menu. But yeah, I'm pretty much there with all the mod stuff that I want to do so far. Pleased with the results. I've got the, if anyone wants to know my PC spec, I normally put it in the description as well. I've got lucky. I'm quite fortunate to have quite a high-end PC. I should imagine that you could run this on a lower spec PC, but you'd need to try that out for yourself. I don't know like the minimum specs. Probably need to crank things down a little bit. I've got everything on max settings as far as I remember. It seems to run fine for me. Hopefully it comes out very nice on the recording. Sometimes I find when I'm recording videos, what looks good in the VR headset doesn't necessarily always translate on the flat screen recording. It's, you know, that's again another difficulty with VR, is to try and show people like the wonders of VR. Like I've been doing a few Unreal Engine, the UE VR Playdog mod videos, and it just doesn't show it off as well as it could do. You know, when you're you know, you've got a video, because people are watching on their monitors or on their phones or whatever, and you just don't get that same kind of wow factor as you do when you've got the headset on. So yeah, one of those things. You've just got to try it to understand it, I guess. It's probably one of the biggest issues that companies like Meta and that have with marketing VR, and probably one of the biggest issues that VR faces is just kind of getting it out to the wide, well, that and the type of headsets you have to wear, big and clunky. There's news of a couple of new oh dear, have I just, no, that's, I thought I wrote off my car then. I should have done hitting that one. So anyway, yeah, there's what I was saying is there's news of a couple of new Pimax headsets coming out. Pimax crystal ones are still crystal, but there's like one that's just gonna have the standalone features removed, because let's face it, I should really pay attention to my driving. Just imagine if this was real. I'd be dead twice over. Okay. Which way am I going? This way? I guess so. Yeah, so a Pimax crystal without the standalone stuff, and then there's another version which has got, it's like a Pimax Crystal Pro, I think it is, they've labelled it. So there's going to be more details about that soon, but there's a bit of kind of leaked information about that. So that's quite exciting for some people, I guess. The Pimax headsets for me were quite interesting, but the actual company itself seemed to, well, they released the headsets with quite a few kind of issues and support issues and stuff like that. From what I gather, I've never owned one. Disclaimer, I've never owned one myself. It's only what you read on the internet, and sometimes you get a bit of a skewed like opinion on the internet, obviously, as everyone probably knows. But yeah, I think on paper they're amazing, but I think they're still, they have quite a few issues because they're still a fairly small team. But yeah, so you've got a new Pimax headsets coming out. There's also the Big Screen Beyond, which is another PCVR headset, tethered one. That one's quite fun, but as it's so small, which is really nice. But you've got to use base stations, so for the tracking, it's not like an inside-out tracking solution. And that, I think for me now, there's a few things. I think I love PCVR, but I like still the option of playing wireless. I think a game like this, you don't have to be played wireless. You can play tethered. It's not, you know, because you're just sat down, it's not a big deal. But I definitely like to have the wireless option because I like playing games like Population 1, which I like to have the freedom of being able to move around. So there's that, and I also so there's the wireless option is quite a big deal for me. And yeah, it just, I think comfort's a big thing, so that's why I like the idea of the big screen beyond, but I wouldn't want to have to buy like base stations and that. I think inside out tracking is the other thing, so they're the two kind of key things I want on a headset these days, which is why I've gone for the Quest 3. I think I had a Pico 4, I really enjoyed it. That gets a lot of negative press, I guess, but I actually think the Pico 4 was pretty good. The colours were a little bit dull. If you wanted to use it for standalone features, then it wasn't the same league as the Quest line, simply because the Quest has been out a lot longer, so it's got that much more support. But the PC side of things, if you're connecting using virtual desktop, was really, really good. The Pico owned software for PCVR wasn't very good. I've read that they've made a lot of improvements, but I've not tried it out because I'm not on my Pico anymore. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So the Quest 3 is my headset for choice at the moment. Using the budget wheel. I'm happy with the kind of setup that I have now. It's really good fun playing. It allows me to do this, which is wicked. I feel really fortunate. So yeah, all in all, really, really pleased with everything. It all runs really well. Definitely recommend it if you're considering, if you've not raced in VR before. I know I'm not actually racing now, I'm just driving around, but if you've not raced or driven in VR before, then definitely do it. It's probably one of the most immersive experiences you can get in VR, in my opinion. Especially using the wheel and stuff, obviously the wheel and pedals. You can sink a lot of money into it. I mean, I've got like a budget rig, people, some of you guys watching have probably got like things that are absolutely like 1,000 times better than what I've got here. You can really go to town with it if you've got the money and you've got the room, but you can still have a really fun experience without all that. I mean, you could even, like I said to you before, you don't need to probably have a really high-end rig to do this. You can probably get a decent result with a lower-end rig, but yeah, it's one of those things. I do feel fortunate with what I've got here. Okay, so that's probably it. I'm rambling on now, so I'm going to call it a day for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed the video. I'll try and get some follow-up videos soon, perhaps of me on different tracks using different mods and stuff like that. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and please remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you. Bye-bye.